How to Stop Hating Your Body, the Ultimate Guide to Body Acceptance. Part 1, Module 1, Introduction. Lesson 1, Welcome. Hello and welcome to the first module in this course. My name is Rosie. I am a self-love and body acceptance coach, and I am here to guide you through this course so that you can rebuild the relationship you have with your body and challenge the unhelpful perspectives you may have about beauty ideals. Before we start, let me just do some basic housekeeping. You will find a worksheet that has been made to accompany this course with space for you to write down your responses to the exercises within the lessons and also the additional exercises to assist your learning in this course. Please download this, or if you don't have the printing facilities, feel free to grab a notebook and a pen and use the electronic copy of the worksheet to guide you. Please do ensure that you use the worksheet as a guide, as the additional exercises will be provided in the worksheet. You'll also find that this course is broken down into 3 parts, with various modules in each part. Please work through this course in order and take your time to practice the exercises and digest the information that you have received. You are currently in Part 1. This section is all about introducing you to the course and the new concepts you are about to learn, and having a very honest and open conversation with yourself about where you are currently in terms of how you feel about your body and creating a set of goals for the future. The second part of this course will focus upon toxic beauty culture in combination with why it is so important to reject these ridiculous beauty standards and understand that your worth is not defined by your appearance. This section is about taking some time to understand the information you have been fed and how this has contributed to the way that you feel about your body. By understanding it and untangling the ties between worth and weight, you are setting yourself up to move forward with a more positive and accepting relationship with your body. The final section will comprise of all the resources, tips and tools you can take forward with you to help you accept your body, feel more body confident, and continue to build upon the relationship you have with your body. I've combined all of the things I have learned and experience I have had to help you create a routine and a toolbox to help improve the way you feel about your body. Okay, so now that's out of the way, let me tell you, what can you expect from this course? You are going to come away from this course with a better understanding of toxic beauty standards and its effect on your body image, the tips and tools to help you learn to accept your body, and with a plan of action on how to continue rebuilding this relationship that you have with your body. We will cover various things from mirror work, affirmations and self-compassion, to curating your social media feed, making your wardrobe work for you, and how to get familiar with your body. So why is all of this important? So I'm going to be very frank with you for a moment. Negative body image is something I see daily in my coaching clients, and it's something I have spent years struggling with myself. We are told by society, the media, and those around us that our bodies are not good enough, while simultaneously being told that how our bodies look is the most important thing about us. This has led to insecurity, low self-worth, and so many of us genuinely hating our bodies. This poor body and mind relationship has resulted in us being held back in our lives. This course is here to help you start to break through the negative things you have been made to believe about your body and begin to feel empowered, self-loving, and confident. We get one body, and hating it is never going to make us happy. Learning to rebuild the relationship you have with your body may genuinely be one of the most important things that you ever do. And finally, before we get stuck in, there are 3 things I want to tell you. Number 1, this course is a huge opportunity. This could be the moment that you look back on in 5 years' time and realise was the turning point for you. Loving yourself and accepting your body starts now. Number 2, improving your body image isn't easy. This course will teach you several simple steps that you can use to improve the relationship you have with your body and your self-worth, but it requires commitment, openness, and self-awareness. This is not going to be an easy course. There may be times when you feel emotional and feel out of your comfort zone, so please make sure you are feeling emotionally and mentally prepared for this transformation. And finally, number 3, I am not a medical professional. I am simply sharing with you the practices and teachings that have allowed me to go from hating my body and believing that my weight defined my worth to fully accepting the body I live in and cultivating self-love and confidence. I want to reiterate again, I am not a medical professional, and this course is simply based upon my own experience. The content in this course is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you feel that you need the support of a medical or healthcare professional, then please reach out and get the help that you deserve. Please read the disclaimer at the beginning of the worksheet before you complete the course, and only continue if you feel that you are able to. Lesson 2, where are you now? Welcome to your first exercise. Understanding where you are now and how you're feeling is the first step in your journey. You chose to do this course because you know you want to become more accepting of your body. But have you actually sat down and had a real honest conversation with yourself about how you're feeling right now? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take some time to understand how you are feeling, and this is going to be useful when you come to the end of this course as an indicator of just how far you have come. This is your opportunity to be extremely open and honest with yourself and understand where you are in relation to your self-love, body acceptance, and confidence. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You will also find these in the accompanying worksheet, and I'm going to ask you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 where you feel you are right now. 1 is totally unsatisfied, not feeling great at all, and 10 is I feel amazing, I couldn't be any better right now. So simply pause this video after each question so that you can think about and write down your answers. Let's get stuck in. So the first question is, how much do you love yourself right now? So 1 being not at all, and 10 being you couldn't love yourself anymore if you tried. The second question, how good do you feel about your body right now? 1 being you are so unhappy and uncomfortable in your own skin, and 10 being you feel amazing and love every single inch of your body. The next question is, how confident are you right now? So 1 is being super shy, not comfortable at all, and 10 being you could walk into a room of people tomorrow with your head held high and not caring at all what they think. The final question is, how accepting of your body are you right now? So 1 being you feel at total war with your body, and 10 being you accept every part of your body for what it is. These questions are designed to help you really understand where you are right now. Write your answers down, put them to one side, and make peace with them. Lesson 3, setting goals. Okay, so you know what to expect from this course, and you've also started to have a conversation with yourself to work out how you are feeling about yourself and your body right now. As the final lesson in this module, we're going to set some goals. Having clear goals is key to successfully achieving what you desire, and we're going to set both short-term and more long-term goals. Get your worksheet and pen and think about what your self-love and body acceptance goals are. We're going to split these into 2 sections. The goals you want to achieve by the end of this course, and the goals you would like to achieve in the next 6 months. These goals could be anything from wanting a better understanding of toxic beauty standards to wanting to feel more confident, wanting to be able to look at your body in the mirror, or maybe committing to carrying out an act of self-compassion every day. These goals are completely personal and unique to you. Pause this video and take your time to really think about what you would like to achieve. Once you've completed your goals list, put this list somewhere you will see it daily. And this marks the end of your first module. I want to remind you that you deserve this. You deserve to accept your body and become the most confident and self-loving version of you. You've got this. 2. Understanding toxic beauty standards. Lesson 1. It is not your job to be pretty. This lesson is going to start a conversation in your mind about what you believe, what you are told, and the role that your body actually has. Women have unfortunately been led to believe that our sole purpose on this planet is to look pretty and be an object for a man to look at. It is reflected in many different ways, but in 3 core ones. Firstly, in the way that women are presented to the world and the inherently sexist mindset. If we look at films, literature, government, any form of media or constitution, women are represented and described extremely differently to men. Let's take films, for example. As the standard approach, women are shown looking a very particular way and within a very narrow beauty standard that is extremely sexualized. They are portrayed as being led by their emotions and are consistently either chasing a man for approval or pitied for being single, and are generally under the age of 40. If we can take top shelf magazines or page 3 newspaper spreads, there is a clear reinforcement that women are here to be looked at by men. Where is the male equivalent? If you take a moment, in almost all situations, you'll be able to find a way in which a woman is expected to tailor the way she looks to please a man. Advertising for the latest waxing product, a desire to combine self-care with pampering, so yet again the focus is on the aesthetic, and the countless diet adverts aimed primarily at women. We live in a world that has reminded us since day one that what is most important about us is how we look. Secondly, it is important to look at the language used around women and the extreme conflict around so-called beauty. A woman these days is expected to have big boobs, a tiny waist, a curvy backside, to not have hair out of place and to show herself as ladylike at all times. She is supposed to be modest and sexy all at the same time. But if she's sexy, she's called a slut, and if she's modest, she's called a prude. She's supposed to be natural but enhanced at the same time, but if she's natural, she's called a plain Jane, and if she's enhanced, she's called fake. Well, we are being told that our bodies are the most important thing about us, while simultaneously being told that they are not good enough, that we need to tweak things, change things, inject things. We are in a situation where we cannot win. The third thing that must be mentioned is the obsession with women's bodies in the media. We are fed daily via social media, newspapers, magazines, and so on, images of women's bodies. Celebrities in bikinis, befores and afters, even horrendous lists where bodies are rated from best to worst, whatever that means. Our whole existence is being underpinned by what we look like. The films we watch, the books we read, the adverts we are shown, the social media we scroll. It is all aimed at telling us that we must be attractive and at the same time making us believe we never will be. Understanding and noticing what you are being told and shown is a key part of this journey. Unpacking the motive behind the message that women must be attractive to be valuable is going to be key in helping you change the worth you attach to your physical appearance. Now it's time for an exercise. Just take some time to pause the video between each section so that you have time to write down your answers. I want you to take a moment and write down the beliefs that you have about what your body should look like. For example, let's say I believe I should have pert boobs. Once you've written this down, I want you to ask yourself if you can pinpoint where these beliefs have come from. So, for example, let's say I've been shown pictures of perky boobs. I'm thinking of page 3 magazines, from plastic surgery adverts, from magazines where I can see other people's boobs in the media. And finally, I want you to ask yourself if you actually believe this. Okay, so back to my example. Actually, maybe I don't believe this because most people don't have pert boobs, and the natural aging process means our bodies become less pert, and it's actually totally normal to not have pert boobs. And start to unpick some of the sexist and untrue beliefs that have been thrust upon you. And going forward, start to take note of the things that you're being told in the media and by adverts, and start to question the motives behind them. Where is the evidence? You'll soon start to become hyper-aware of what you are being made to believe, and can begin to mentally debunk this ingrained belief that your body must look a certain way for you to be worthy. Lesson 2. Breaking news: flaws do not exist. Okay, so we have spoken a little about toxic beauty standards and this overwhelming societal belief that women must be physically attractive to be worthy. One of the biggest motives behind this belief is money. Mullah, dosh, dough, whatever you want to call it. It is the motivation behind the extremely financially successful diet culture that has taken over the world, the plastic surgery business, and the numerous products that are thrown at us daily to fix our so-called flaws. But I've got a newsflash for you. Flaws do not actually exist. Dun dun dun! Crazy, I know. We are often told by people with good intentions to embrace our flaws, learn to love our imperfections, all that jazz. But the truth of the matter is we don't actually have any flaws because they do not exist. We simply have normal bodies. Cellulite? Normal. Stretch marks? Normal. Loose skin? Normal. One boob bigger than the other? Normal. Spots? Normal. All of these things, plus any so-called flaw you can think of, are not flaws. They are just normal parts of human bodies. Let's dig into this a little bit deeper and come back to the topic of money. Over the years, through advertising and the media, we've been fed thousands of expensive products, procedures and pills which claim to fix certain body issues. Cream for stretch marks, injections for wrinkles, pills for weight loss, you name it, there's a product for it. But what do these products have in common? They are money-making giants. Okay, let's use an example. The majority of the female population have stretch marks. Let's say the media shames a celebrity for having stretch marks on her stomach. A company then makes a cream to help reduce the appearance of stretch marks. The media consistently tells people that stretch marks are ugly, and then on the next page in their magazine they show an advert for the miracle stretch mark cream. An insecurity is created and then a solution is proposed, a big, expensive solution. The result is a population who believe that stretch marks are ugly flaws that need to be fixed, and then buy expensive so-called solutions. I mean, it's clever. Create a problem so that you can make an expensive solution for it. You can see their logic. But the devastating effects is that millions of people are full of self-doubt, self-loathing and insecurity over totally normal body changes that they have simply been led to believe are flawed. Understanding and questioning the motives behind certain products and treatments can be a big step on the journey to accepting our bodies. When we can understand that there is literally nothing wrong with our bodies and that all of the things we have been told are flaws are actually just normal things, we can reclaim some of our power. Your body is beautiful, normal, and deserving of your love and acceptance. Flaws do not exist. Normal bodies do. I want you to grab the worksheet and complete the exercise for this lesson. I would firstly like you to think about what you perceive your flaws to be. Then I want you to go away and take some time to research what scientifically those flaws actually are. Take some time to go through each of your flaws and write down what they are and normalize them. And in the third column, I want you to write down how you can view these so-called flaws differently now, given the new information that you have. So let's go back to the example of stretch marks. Let's say I perceive my flaw to be stretch marks on my tummy, on my sides, on my legs, anywhere. I do a bit of research and I understand that stretch marks are actually just a sign that your skin is healing. When your body changes and grows or shrinks, it causes little ruptures, and these small marks are signs your body is healing. A totally normal, natural, and very common occurrence. I can then go through and reframe the way that I look at my stretch marks, and rather than think it's something that needs to be changed, I can understand that it's simply a normal and natural part of my body, and therefore work towards accepting it and changing my view that I have on it. And get to a point where I start to like things that were once previously flaws. For example, I now look at my stretch marks and think they're actually pretty silvery and kind of cute. But by the end of this exercise, you'll hopefully be able to view your flaws in slightly different ways and understand that your body is doing totally natural and normal things. It is simply society and toxic beauty standards that have created the term flaw in order to boost sales and levels of control. Lesson 3, there is no such thing as beautiful. So here's an oxymoron for you. There is no such thing as a beautiful body, but all bodies are beautiful. Let me explain what I mean. A beautiful body cannot be defined. There cannot be one definition of beauty. The media tries to have us believe that there is one beauty standard, but the truth is there can never be a definition of a beautiful body. A body is just a body. It is just existing and it is just living. It's simply housing some internal organs and an incredible heart. It's simply a body. There is no one definition of what a beautiful body is. But on the flip side, and because of this, all bodies are beautiful, because that in itself is a beautiful thing. Any body is beautiful because all bodies are simply doing their job. Simply existing and living and breathing and growing and housing all of those important things. There is no such thing as a beautiful body, but all bodies are beautiful. Let me give you an example which may help you cement this way of thinking in your mind. Beauty standards and the so-called perfect body change constantly. They are dependent upon culture, where you live in the world, even what year it is. We've gone from skinny supermodels to big bums and boobs. The concept of beauty is so fluid and ever-changing because that is what beauty really is. A sliding scale. It is not one concept or one thing or one size. It is an unreal concept. It cannot be pinned down because it does not exist. There is no such thing as one beauty ideal, one beauty standard, one certain way that someone's body should look or should be. There is no such thing as a beautiful body, but all bodies are beautiful. Module 3, Untying Your Worth from Your Physical Appearance. Lesson 1, What Will Be on Your Gravestone? So you probably looked at the title of this lesson and thought, where on earth is this going to go? But just hear me out. This module is all about allowing what you now understand about toxic beauty standards to help you untangle the idea that your worth is somehow related to your physical appearance. By removing this concept and understanding that your worth is inherent, that it is unchangeable, and that it is totally unrelated to your physical appearance, you allow yourself to be free from the pressure created by believing that if you look a certain way, that you'll be happy. So let's go back to the title of this lesson. What will be on your gravestone? This question sounds morbid, but it's designed to both make you reevaluate the role that your body has and to understand that in no way can it define your worth. So I want you to grab the worksheet and pen, and I want you to write down what you imagine will be written on your gravestone. Go ahead and pause this video for as long as you need. Okay, so you've done the exercise. Now I want to ask you this question. Does your gravestone say anything about what you looked like? I can be pretty confident that the answer to that question is no. Never in my life have I seen a gravestone that said, "Here lies Rosie, 89 years old, weighing in at 140 pounds, brunette hair which she dyed blonde, C-cup boobs and stretch marks galore." All I ever see is, "Here lies Rosie, doting mother, beloved daughter, caring wife." And the reason I've never seen it is because it's who we are inside that genuinely matters. Our body is simply an instrument that is there to house our soul, our heart, and our mind. It is home to the people that we are, our personalities, our values, our memories. Our bodies are instruments that carry us through life. Their job is not to look a certain way to please somebody else, and our worth can never be defined by them. The only thing we are ever remembered for and what actually matters is who we are inside. So how can we ever tie our worth to something as unimportant as what we look like? Let's look at it from another angle. When asked about your beloved aunt who sadly passed away, never do you say, "Oh, I loved Aunt Martha because she was so slim," or "she looked so pretty," or "her hair was always perfect." You likely say, "I loved my Aunt Martha because she was so funny," or "she was so kind," or "she always knew when I was upset and was just such a big support." When you do this exercise, it may seem morbid, but by looking at what it boils down to in the long run, you realise that the way your body looks isn't even a notable mention when it comes down to the person that you are. Who you are inside is where your worth lies. When you're having a day where you're struggling with body image, which is totally normal and which we all have, come back to this question. Allow it to silence your inner critic and set the record straight that your body is in fact here to carry you through life. It is here to house your soul, your heart, your spirit, and it is not what you will be remembered for. It's worthy in its own right because it does its job of keeping you alive, but more crucially, it can never define your worth because who you are inside is what defines that. You are born with worth. Lesson 2. Has changing your body ever actually made you happy? Okay, so in this lesson we are going to continue to approach the idea that self-worth is in some way related to the way that you look, and that changing the way you look will somehow make you happy. Changing your perspective on this is going to be huge. We very often tie our self-worth to our appearance, and because of this we have this idea that when we look a certain way we'll be more worthy and we'll feel better. The consequence of this is that we are always waiting. We're always waiting to feel better about ourselves, to feel more worthy and to be happy with the way that we look. We are constantly pursuing change and ways to modify our bodies, seeing them as something to be altered and dissatisfied with, rather than seeing them for what they actually are, our home. Understanding that your worth does not change based on what you weigh or what you look like is a key part of the body acceptance journey. I want to go through an exercise with you to help you begin to change the perspective that your worth is defined by the way you look, in this idea that once your body looks a certain way that you will be more worthy or happier. So grab your worksheet. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, so pause the video as and when you need to, and there are no right or wrong answers to this. So has there been a time where you've changed your body and it has actually made you happy? Can you think of a time, or do you have a picture of yourself from the past where you look at it now and think that you look great? Once you've thought or found one, ask yourself, did you believe that you looked great or feel content with your body at the time? The answer is most likely no. We are always chasing a certain weight or shape or overall look. We are always looking for change, and all this does is stops us from appreciating what we have in the here and now, and lessens our self-worth because we believe that we are not worthy until we look a different way. And there are 3 fundamental truths that you need to hear before moving on. Firstly, your body is not the issue. The way you perceive it is what requires change. It's nothing to do with your body or what it looks like, and everything to do with the way that you view it. This exercise is proof that no matter what we do to change the outside, we will never be satisfied until we do the inner work. The second truth is that hating your body is never going to make you happy. Being at war in your own skin is never going to result in self-love and happiness. And be honest, do you really think you deserve to spend your life hating your body, the very thing that gives you life every single day? You cannot hate yourself into changing. All this does is breed more hate. And the third truth is that placing your worth on what you look like is downright ridiculous. It does not serve you. Now let's be clear, accepting and loving your body is great. That's self-acceptance and body confidence. What we're talking about here is believing that your worth is based upon your body and the way that you look, and that if you look a certain way, you'll be more worthy, or even more detrimentally, that if you look a certain way, it makes you less worthy. I spoke a moment ago about the fact that if you tie your worth to your physical appearance, you are always waiting. This is going to be the day that you decide you're fed up of waiting. Fed up of waiting to wear the bikini or the shorts, to go on that holiday or to dance at the party. Stop waiting and start living. Module 4, Self-Compassion. Lesson 1. Why body neutrality is just as important as body love. Okay, so we've started to unpack ridiculous beauty standards and the motives behind them, the importance of untying your worth from your physical appearance, and how flaws simply don't exist. Now we're going to move on to some actionable steps that you can start to use to improve your relationship with your body. This module is all about self-compassion and how to start removing negative self-talk and beginning to look at and speak to your body in a more gentle way. This lesson is about body neutrality and why this is just as important as body love. So let's start from the beginning. You are probably doing this course because you think and say things about your body that aren't particularly nice. You probably look in the mirror and think certain parts of your body are not good enough. You may talk down to yourself and say some pretty nasty things. Honestly, I think we've all been there. I'm yet to meet one person who hasn't struggled with their body image at some point. When we think of people that are body confident, we assume that they stand in front of the mirror and love every single thing about their body. Realistically, this probably isn't the case, and it isn't actually the goal of this course. If you come away from this loving every single part of your body, then that's incredible. If you come away from this course accepting every part of your body, that's equally as incredible. If you come away from this course accepting some of your body, that's still equally as incredible. And this is where body neutrality comes in. Our aim is to remove the negative self-talk, the nasty things that you may say about your body. Whether that is replaced with a neutral statement or a positive statement is actually rather unimportant, as both are equally as powerful. Let me give you an example. I used to really dislike my tummy, and I would think my tummy is disgusting. When I started to develop self-love and take steps to repair the relationship I had with my body, to suddenly look in the mirror and say to myself, I love my tummy, or my tummy is beautiful, just didn't feel at all believable to me. positive and loving statements felt like too much of a big jump for me. And instead, I used neutral statements. I said, that is what a human tummy looks like, or that grew me 2 beautiful children. It felt believable and it felt much more comfortable to me. Body neutrality is anything that is a neutral phrase or that focuses on the function of your body rather than the aesthetic. Now I am able to say I love my tummy and genuinely mean it. But even if I had always only ever stayed in the mindset of that's what a human tummy looks like, that would have been just as powerful, because the key here is removing the negative words which are so damaging. Body neutrality can feel like the lifeline that you need. It can feel like a reasonable and actionable step to take and may or may not lead to loving your body. But what it does do is allow you to begin the process of removing damaging negative self-talk. So let's get stuck into the exercise for this lesson. Using the worksheet, fill out the table. So you will see that there are 3 sections: the negative self-talk, neutral statement, and body love statement. Write down the insecurities that you have about your body. Then create a neutral statement that you could replace it with, followed by a loving statement that you could replace it with. And once you have a list of these, for each one on the list, choose either the neutral or positive statement, whichever one feels most comfortable for you, and write it down on a post-it note. What you're going to do is stick that post-it note on your bathroom mirror and read it every single day. When you find yourself wanting to say something negative about your body, remind yourself of the replacing statement. Soon it will become second nature and you will find yourself automatically recognizing negative self-talk and being able to replace it with a neutral or body-loving statement. And this doesn't just apply to body acceptance. You can use this for any negative self-talk that you may have. I want to reiterate, the key here is removing negative self-talk. Body neutrality or body love is the personal choice that you make, and both are equally as valid, as powerful, and as important. This is going to be vital in changing the relationship with your body, and the great news is you can literally start now. Lesson 2, become your own best friend. Okay, so we've started to talk about body neutrality and negative self-talk, but it's still going to be a process to be able to recognise your negative self-talk and nip it in the bud. So this is a great little technique you can use to help you. We find it so easy to be compassionate to other people, but for some reason we really struggle to be compassionate to ourselves, and quite often we don't even notice how hard we can be. So this technique is all about becoming your own best friend. And again, this applies to how you talk about your body, but also how you talk about yourself in general. So my rule is, if I wouldn't say it to my best friend, then I won't say it to myself. So when I begin to say something about my body that isn't very kind, I ask myself, if my best friend was stood here right now, would I say to her, your tummy is disgusting, or your cellulite is gross, or your body isn't good enough? The answer is always no. So then the question is, well, why would I say it to myself? If you have children, another great way to think about this is, how would I feel if my child spoke about themselves this way? When we can put ourselves in the shoes of someone we love, we can view the situation very differently. And if we can get into the habit of treating ourselves like our best friend, our child, or anybody else we love, then we can create lifelong changes in the way that we view ourselves and truly begin to become our own best friend. Lesson 3, the power of affirmations. So there's a good chance you've heard of affirmations before. You may have even used them. If you haven't, you might be able to guess what they are. Statements that affirm something. So an example would be, I am good enough, or I can achieve anything I put my mind to. Affirmations can be used to help with any belief that is currently holding you back. One of the best ways to start an affirmation is with the words I am, I have, or I can. You can also start affirmations with my body is or my body deserves. You can create an affirmation in any style that suits you, and there are no hard and fast rules. Things to bear in mind are make them specific for you, keep them short and sweet, and when you say them like you really do believe them. We've spoken a lot about negative self-talk and the importance of catching that negative self-talk and replacing it with something neutral or positive. Affirmations take it up a level. They put you in a mindset where you are actively trying to be kind to yourself. You are taking proactive steps to say neutral or positive things to yourself. And the power of this is that you can truly start to change your beliefs and also mold your mindset into one that seeks positivity and self-compassion automatically. So I would like you to grab the worksheet and write down 10 affirmations. I've made a list of body acceptance affirmations for you to look at, and I would suggest combining some of those with some of your own. The important thing is that they are specific to you and your beliefs. You're going to say these affirmations every single day, and you are feeding yourself with kind words and helping to empower the beliefs you have about your body. A top tip would be to tie these affirmations to a physical act. For example, maybe you boil the kettle every morning for a cup of coffee. Say the affirmations whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil. And by tying the affirmations to a physical act, you create a buffer for yourself almost, an added reminder to do the affirmations. And what you'll actually find is that every time you then boil the kettle, you automatically have the affirmations start running through your head. So choose your affirmations, choose your physical act to tie it to, maybe the kettle or washing your hair in the shower, even your drive to work, anything, and then say them daily. Start to create an automatic mindset whereby you are kind to yourself. So whilst you are noticing that negative self-talk and nipping it in the bud, you are also starting to flood your mind with positive statements and create an abundant and self-compassionate mindset. Module 5, Getting to Know Your Body. Lesson 1, The Power of Familiarity. Do you find yourself avoiding looking at your body at all costs? Whether it's not looking in mirrors, getting dressed in the dark, or even avoiding looking down in the shower. Many of us have got into the habit of believing that we don't like our bodies or that they're ugly, and we've begun to avoid them at all costs. But let me tell you something. Avoiding your body simply increases the distance between yourself and your mind and your body, and it creates an environment where self-loathing simply grows. You begin to objectify yourself and may even feel like your body is not your own or you don't recognize it. Familiarity, on the other hand, makes self-objectification and self-loathing harder. When I was sat in one of my second year lectures for my psychology degree, I remembered thinking, when am I ever going to use this? Social psychology is so boring. Well, finally, I can use something I've learned. Social psychologists did a study where they showed people living in a block of flats pictures of other people's that also lived in their block, but whom they didn't know or interact with. And they showed them these photos alongside photos of complete strangers. They were asked to rate how attractive or how likeable they found them. They unconsciously ranked the people who lived in their building as more likeable and attractive than the complete strangers. And it led to the belief and the conclusion that familiarity breeds liking. The more we see something, the more we like it. I guess you could maybe interpret it that it's because we become more comfortable with it and it becomes more known, it feels more comfortable for us. So how can we apply this to our bodies? We can become familiar with them. We can start to look at them, whether it's in the shower, in the mirror, in bed, when we're getting dressed. Maybe it's a few minutes in front of the mirror or 30 seconds before you put your jeans on. Taking time to just expose yourself to your own body and getting familiar with it has huge power. It can take away that shock factor. It can stop it feeling like someone else's body, and it can help you reconnect and accept your body. Get familiar, get comfortable, get to know what your body looks like. It's time to gently stop avoiding it and start treating it like your home. This way, you can bridge the gap between your mind and your body. You can breathe liking. You can have that subconscious familiarity, which is going to make you feel more comfortable with your body and that it actually looks like your own. Try to do this 2 or 3 times a week at a minimum, and in many different ways. Like I said, maybe you commit to looking at yourself in the mirror for 30 seconds every other day. Or maybe you take some time to look in the shower and get comfortable, get familiar, and get to know what your body looks like. Make time to do this every single week and start to find that gap slowly getting smaller and smaller. Lesson 2, mirror work. So we've talked about familiarity, we've talked the talk, and now it's time to walk the walk. We're going to make the mirror something that builds you up rather than tears you down. For a long time, I avoided the mirror at all costs. I didn't want to look at my body or my face, and when I did, I would just feel like the reflection was screaming abuse back at me. The first time I did mirror work, I broke down in tears. I was well into my self-love and body acceptance journey, and it still hit me hard. Yet now it is one of the core tools that I have and that I use to build a stronger relationship with myself. So what is mirror work? Mirror work, in a nutshell, is standing in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eyes and speaking kindly to yourself. If you can stand and say I love you, then great. If you stand and say neutral things to yourself or kind statements to yourself, then great. If you stand there and say nothing at all, then great. Let's dig into this a bit deeper. When you fall in love with someone, when you're sat across the table from them on that romantic first date, where do you look? In their eyes. Exactly. Looking into someone's eyes builds connection and intimacy. It deepens your bond and it allows for a stronger relationship to be cultivated. But I bet you've never actually looked in your own eyes, huh? Imagine what the level of intimacy and connection could do for the relationship that you have with yourself. And as we spoke about before, it's all about building the bridge between your mind and your body. So anything you can do to create a more intimate relationship with yourself overall is going to benefit your relationship with your body. So there are various ways you can do this. I would suggest standing in front of the mirror every morning for 2 to 3 minutes. Look yourself in the eyes, and if at first you simply want to remain silent and just look in your own eyes, then that's great. To up-level the power of this exercise, you can then start saying things to yourself. So from a body acceptance perspective, you may want to stand in front of the mirror and all the so-called flaws you unpicked and redefined, or the affirmations you chose and the neutral or positive statements you created about your body, say these. Say them out loud. It may feel uncomfortable or awkward and you may feel emotional or tearful, but it's absolutely okay. This is a surefire way to really build some bridges with your body and mind. From a general self-love perspective, and the way that I approach mirror work in my daily routine is I stand in front of the mirror, I look myself in the eye and I say, I love you. I say, I love you because you're a good mum. I love you because you have a kind heart. I love you because you help other women. Belly, I love you because you carried my babies. When I did this the first time, I couldn't even say I love you out loud. It felt so uncomfortable. After a week, I could say it, and I could name maybe 1 or 2 reasons I loved myself. Now I could stand there and name 20. Mirror work works best when it is consistent. And now when I pass a mirror, it's simply a habit to say something nice to myself. When I used to pass a mirror, it was literally the opposite, an opportunity to pick out something I didn't like. If you can stick to this, you can change the whole role that mirrors have in your life and the automatic response they bring out in you. Imagine if every time you saw a mirror, you automatically looked for the things you liked rather than the things you didn't. Try it for 1 week, in whatever form you want to, and find yourself creating that intimate and deep connection with yourself. It is truly one of the most powerful tools that you can use. Lesson 3, exploring your body. So you're starting to get familiar, you're making the mirror your new bestie rather than an enemy, and now it's time to take it up another notch. Are you ready to explore your body? We've talked a lot about connection, and more specifically how the lack of connection and familiarity can really hinder your body acceptance journey. Getting to know your body is another tool you can use to reconnect and make your body feel like your own. So how do you explore your body? There are plenty of ways to do this. Stretch your body. Take some time in the morning or before you go to bed to stretch out your limbs and really be present with what it feels like. Walk barefoot outside. Go outside and walk on the grass. Allow yourself to feel the ground beneath you and think about how it feels against your feet. This is also a great way to relax. The calming benefit of nature is a real added bonus. Self-massage. Grab your favourite hand cream and give each hand a little massage. Or give yourself a pedicure and really focus on massaging your feet and your ankles. Self-massage is extremely relaxing and another way to build connection with your own body. Book a real massage, maybe at a spa. Allow yourself and your body to be nourished and pampered. Try a body scan. It's exactly what it sounds like. Lie down and start at the top of your head. Think about how it feels and slowly move down across your whole body, right down to the tip of your toes, thinking about how each part feels, where there is tension, where there is pain or discomfort. This is an extremely useful tool in helping you to get in tune with your body and helping you learn to listen to it. These are just a handful of ways to connect with your body, and there are so many more. Explore all your options and find out which ones work for you, and then start incorporating them regularly into your routine. The social media trap. Lesson 1, curate your feed. If you're anything like me, you can find yourself spending a lot of time on social media. Or even if you're a rare creature and only check it once in a while, you may not realise the power that social media can have over you. This module is all about how to make social media work for you rather than against you. Social media sites, especially those that focus heavily on photos, can have an extreme effect on body image, self-worth, and overall confidence. Humans naturally have a tendency to compare themselves to other people in every single area of life, but most dangerously appearance. At the tip of our fingers and in less than 30 seconds, I can find a photo of a complete stranger on the internet that is half the world away, potentially photoshopped and with a filter, and I can fall into a spiral of comparison to something that may not even be real. It's a dangerous concept and one that humans really weren't designed for. Social media has had such a profound effect on our mental health, but the exciting thing is we can really turn the tables. Right now, your feed may be full of people you compare yourself to and accounts that make you feel less than good about yourself. It may be explicit or extremely subtle to the point where you don't even notice the effect that it's having. But I have a great formula for you. This will help you create your feed so that it works for you rather than against you. This lesson is very simple, but it has huge power and has two main aims: to remove the negativity and then flood your feed with some positivity. The first task is to have a social media clear out. Go through all your social media accounts and remove any accounts that make you feel any sort of negativity at all. If they make you feel like you want to compare yourself, delete, unfollow, remove. Do what you gotta do. If they make you feel like you're not good enough, delete. If they promote unhealthy habits, delete. If they don't support self-love and body acceptance, delete. Remove the crap. And here's a little side note. This isn't just limited to social media. You can use this in real life too. Setting boundaries is a huge act of self-love, and limiting time with people who make you feel bad about yourself, who don't support your self-love journey, or who leave you feeling drained after encounters with them is vital and perfectly acceptable action to take. Just because someone is family, has been your friend for years, or is even someone you work with, doesn't mean you cannot set new boundaries with them. Curate your social media feed and also curate your social circle. Back to the second part of this exercise. Now that you've had a good old clear out and removed the negativity from your feed, you need to completely flood it with things that make you feel good. Go through and follow 5 accounts or hashtags that promote self-love, self-acceptance, body acceptance, or bodies that look similar to yours, as well as hashtags of your choice that simply make you feel good. What you're doing here is controlling to a certain extent what you're being shown on your newsfeed, and ensuring that when you pick up your phone to have a quick scroll, that you're not going to come away feeling disheartened, inadequate, or like you want to compare yourself. Social media is a big part of our lives, either rightly or wrongly, and making it your mission to ensure it is a safe space for you is an important part of the self-love and body acceptance journey. So regularly go through your feed and have social media clear-outs, and every week I would suggest adding at least 5 new accounts or hashtags that support you on the self-love and body acceptance journey. Lesson 2, removing judgment. This lesson might feel pretty blunt and something you may not love hearing, but it's crucial, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Stop using social media to judge other people and their bodies. I'm going to say that again. Stop using social media to judge other people and their bodies. Part of the body acceptance journey is changing the way you view bodies in general. They are not objects to be judged, observed, or commented on. They are simply a part of the human journey. Judging other people's bodies only serves one purpose: to try and make ourselves feel better. Whether you're scrolling through social media looking at the latest post about a celebrity who's changed the way they look, or even making comments on another person's post, the only purpose this serves is to feed your insecurity and to add fuel to the objectification fire that the media stokes every single day. We have to stop judging our own bodies, and we have to stop judging the bodies of others. This includes praising weight loss. This includes comments like, "She looks great considering," or "What a glow up." Appearance is not to be judged or commented upon, period. So the next time you find yourself having an opinion on someone else's appearance on social media, or in real life for that matter, ask yourself, why do you feel the need to comment or think about that person's body? What purpose is this opinion serving, and what does it tell you about your own body acceptance journey? Focusing on ourselves rather than other people in terms of comparison and judgment is an important part of body acceptance. Stop comparing and stop judging. And now, this module might seem like it's a little harsh, it might seem like it's very to the point and a bit blunt, but I tell you this message with care. And I tell you this message in the way that I want you to know it's not your fault that you do this. We live in a society that praises beauty and tries to encourage us to comment constantly on what other people look like. It is through no fault of your own that you are in a position where what other people look like is important to you. So please don't come away from this session feeling that you've done anything wrong, or that anything has been other than you just doing your best in the world that you live in. But now is the time you can make the change. Now is the time you can start to decide to go against the grain and say, I'm not going to comment on other people's physical appearance anymore. I'm going to stop judging other people so that I can stop judging myself. Module 7, Wear What You Want. Lesson 1, Wardrobe Clear Out. This module is all about clothes, one of my favourite topics. Clothes are a huge part of the body acceptance journey, and much like the social media module previously, are something that we can use to work for us rather than against us. This lesson has a huge task ahead of you, but one that is going to leave you feeling relaxed and like your wardrobe is your friend, not your foe. So here's the key takeaway from today. It is not your job to fit your clothes. It is the job of your clothes to fit you. Let me say that again. It is not your job to fit into your clothes. It is the job of your clothes to fit you. Most of us have a whole heap of clothes in our closet that don't fit us, and we feel bad about this. But it's not your job to fit into those clothes. Bodies change constantly, and an item of clothing doesn't. They are designed with zero flexibility, and yet we force our fluid and ever-changing beautiful bodies into clothes that were designed to fit a basic body shape that a minority of the population has. If something doesn't fit you, get rid of it. If something doesn't make you feel good when you wear it, get rid of it. If something is uncomfortable, get rid of it. When our wardrobes are full of clothes that fill us with dread, it makes getting dressed a miserable process, and it does not serve us. Clothes have one job: to fit you. So if they don't, they are redundant. Package them up, donate them, and move on. By clearing out the clothes that aren't serving you, your wardrobe becomes a place that no longer has the potential to create misery, but becomes something you associate with clothes that make you feel happy, comfortable, and confident. Lesson 2, Wear What Makes You Feel Good. So you've cleared out everything that isn't serving you. Now it's time to begin to dress every day in clothes that make you feel good. Clothes are an expression. They are a way of showing ourselves through what we wear, and more importantly, they are a tool that we can use to make ourselves feel amazing. If you love bright colours, wear them. If you love denim, wear it. If you love bold patterns, wear them. If you love casual clothes, wear them. Nothing you wear should be uncomfortable or make you feel self-conscious. Clothes can be used to bring you up rather than down. Wearing clothes that not only make you feel happy and good, but are also comfortable is a huge act of self-love. It takes 5 minutes of every day to put together an outfit, and when your sole focus is what makes you feel good, rather than what you think other people will think, you can begin to change the relationship you have with clothing, and in turn the relationship you have with your body. So every day, spend some time putting an outfit together that makes you feel good, that you enjoy wearing, and that represents you as a person, and remove any focus you have on what you think other people will think about your outfit. Lesson 3, there is no such thing as flattering. Much like in the previous module when we talked about the fact that flaws do not actually exist, the same applies to certain clothes being flattering. I'm sure you've seen the magazine articles with a title along the lines of "Dress for your shape" or "What not to wear," but the truth of the matter is, you can wear whatever the F you like. Flattering is yet another concept that really doesn't mean anything. Any body can be dressed in any type of clothing. It's simply a piece of material that covers up your beautiful body. There is nothing you can't wear because it's supposedly unflattering. There are no rules that you have to abide by when it comes to clothes. I can guarantee there is something that you've always loved the look of but have been told wouldn't suit you or wouldn't be flattering and that you can't wear, so you simply never have. I want you to wear something you've always dreamed of wearing, and instead of thinking, is this flattering for me? Ask yourself, how does this make me feel? If the answer is good, wear it. If the answer is bad, get rid and move on. That clothing item didn't do its job, and that's not a reflection of you. Take back your power. Wear what the hell you want and own it. It's your body, your clothes, and it's all about the way that you feel. Nobody can dictate what feels good for you. If there's something you'd love to try, go for it. Module 8, Acceptance and Gratitude. Lesson 1, Body Acceptance. The exercise we're going to do in this lesson is going to become one of the staple exercises you take with you going forward. You can listen to this video whenever you need to, and eventually you'll likely find yourself being able to do the exercise unguided. So let's get stuck in. Firstly, sit or lie down and get comfortable. Then I want you to begin by taking a deep and cleansing breath. Thank the breath for giving you life and for nourishing you. Feel the breath moving through the body, cleansing it and healing it. It feels so good to accept your body right here in this moment. Thank your body right now and tell your body you accept and appreciate it. Take stock of exactly where you are on this journey and praise yourself for all the work and the commitments you have made to this point. By this stage, you have already made progress and your body is so thankful. Now I want you to rub your hands together to stimulate the energy. Feel how good it feels to use your hands. And you may even notice a nice warm feeling starting to spread through your hands and arms. Take a moment to thank your arms for all that they do, helping you care for your body. You hug people with your arms, they connect you to other people and to other things. Your arms are strong and vital, they are constantly exposed to the sun and the air, and yet they remain strong. Rub your hands up and down your arms and hug yourself. Now stretch your arms above your body and notice how good it feels to ease out the stress and tension. Feel the muscles and bones as you stretch. Thank your muscles and bones for being so strong. Love your body internally and send praise to all the muscles, tendons, ligaments, the organs, and even the blood. Without the movement of the blood and fluid, there would be no body. Now take your hands and rub them up and down your legs, noticing your strong muscles. Your calves support you every day as you walk and move, and they are incredibly strong. Thank your calves, your knees, and your thighs for their hard work. Thank them, praise them, and send them acceptance and appreciation. I praise you. I honor you. I accept you. Thank you. Feel your body responding to this acceptance. Now take your hands and rub them on your face, feeling your skin and your lips. Notice how it feels to smile and be happy. There is no one else on earth that looks exactly like you. You are incredible and unique. Your face does so much for you, so take time to honor it and praise it. Thank your lips, your nose, your ears and your cheeks. Thank your eyes, for they are the windows to the soul. Now imagine your back muscles and your stomach for a moment. Your back carries you around every moment of every day, and your stomach is constantly churning and processing food. Thank your back, your stomach, your abdomen, and all of your internal organs for all that they do for you. I praise you. I honor you. I accept you. thank you. Bless every part of your body because the body gives you life. Honour and show your body acceptance every day for the contribution it makes to you and your life. Thank your brain for keeping you mentally sharp. Imagine how much it processes on a daily basis. Thank the brain for its service right now. Thank it for your intelligence and your humour and your personality. Take a moment to put your hand over your heart and feel it beating. Thank your heart for beating every single day and keeping you alive. I praise you. I honour you. I accept you. Thank you. And now thank your feet for carrying your body around. Your feet are so important because they are the connection to the ground. Feel the feet on the ground and feel the earth beneath them. And now thank any other part of your body that you would like to thank. Just repeat these phrases in your mind until you feel that you have fully honoured the body for today. I praise you. I honour you. I accept you. Thank you. Your body appreciates kindness, so tell your body you appreciate its fine work and its service. Tell your body you will always support it and accept it, and apologise to your body for anything you may have done in the past that caused it harm. Now hug the body and feel the power of self-love. You are incredible. You can do this. Every day, in every way, you are becoming more accepting and self-loving. And you may stay in this mode of appreciation and love for as long as you like and as long as you need. You may do this simple meditation often, or you may choose something similar to show yourself you appreciate yourself and that you are worthy on a regular basis. Lesson 2, Gratitude. The body acceptance exercise from last lesson is an extremely powerful resource. It's all about connecting with your body physically, and today we're going to connect to your body emotionally. This lesson is all about gratitude, and gratitude is something I recommend everyone starts their day with, whether it's gratitude for their bodies, their family, the roof over their head, the smell of the flowers in their garden. Embracing a gratitude mindset every day can help you see the good in life and make the switch from a mindset where you focus on what is lacking to a fully abundant approach to life. The exercise today is to write a letter to your body. This doesn't have to be a love letter, but it most certainly can be if you want it to be. This letter is all about thanking your body and writing down all the things you are grateful to it for. It's about connecting with your body on a deeper level. It may even be an apology letter. It may take you back to your younger years. It may be an evaluation of the ever-changing relationship you have with your body. This letter is unique to you, so follow your intuition when you write it. The only fixed requirement is that you must at some point in the letter express gratitude to your body. Write away, Queen. Module 9. Moving forward. Lesson 1, finding out more. Okay, so I've given you some new perspectives and plenty of exercises and resources you can keep forever. But there is still so much more to learn. Building a relationship with your body isn't something that happens overnight and is something you will always have to nurture. Think of it like a plant. If you want it to grow and flourish, you need to water it and take care of it. You can't expect it to continue to grow without having energy, time, and water poured into it. Unless it's a cactus. Those bad boys can grow anywhere, but look how prickly and angry they are. Okay, I think the plant metaphor has come to a slightly weird end, but you catch my drift. You've got to keep working on the relationship you have with your body. So what can you do? Read. There are so many books out there, and you'll find a recommended reading list in the worksheet. There are plenty of people who have been through this process, so take advantage of their experience and save yourself time by reading the information that they have uncovered and shared. Research. Keep researching the beauty industry, the pressures on women, where flaws supposedly come from. If there's been a topic that we have covered that you want to know more about, then find out more. Knowledge is power. Maybe make it a monthly thing where you continue to find out more about body image, body acceptance, self-love, self-worth. The list is literally endless. Podcasts. These are golden. I just love listening to conversations and hearing firsthand a person's raw and real experience. Listen to this on your drive to work, on your lunch break, in bed, wherever. Listening to real people, real stories, and real advice is powerful. Motivational speakers. There are plenty of body acceptance and self-love advocates out there. Go on YouTube and seek them out. Watch a 5-minute video or get lost down a rabbit hole and spend a couple of hours listening and watching. As I said before, the more knowledge you have, the more experiences you can listen to, and the more time you invest into this process and yourself, the greater your results will be. Keep an eye on your social media. We discussed the power of social media in a previous module, and it's something you need to continue to monitor. Keep adding positive accounts or hashtags. I would suggest doing this once a week and adding at least 5 to ensure that you continue to flood your feed with things that are beneficial for you. And every time you see something that doesn't make you feel good or makes you feel like you want to compare, then remove, unfollow, delete. Do what you need to do. And general self-love work. Body acceptance is so intertwined with self-love that generally taking steps to build your relationship with yourself is going to be beneficial to your body acceptance journey. Follow self-love accounts, read books about self-love, get a coach even. Do whatever you can to create a firm understanding of the person that you are. When we learn who we are and fully accept all of that, inside and out, we become unshakable. Lesson 2, creating a routine. It's time to put everything you've learnt together, and it's time to make a routine. Using the worksheet, you're going to reflect on what you have learnt throughout this process and cultivate a routine which is going to help you continue to build the relationship that you have with your body. You will find first a list of all the tools and techniques I have given you that you can use. Keep adding to this list often. And I've also added in some further techniques and tools which you may already be familiar with or that you may need to research further, but which I think may also help you on your body acceptance journey. You will then find a ready-made template that you can complete. Use this plan as a rough guide and change it as and when you need to so that you can create a solid routine that supports your body acceptance journey. You'll see that it's split into daily, weekly and monthly sections. There are certain exercises and techniques that you may not want to use daily, but that you will still want to ensure you make time to practice. So by splitting it up in this way, you can create a list of all your resources and additional things you can be doing, rather than simplifying it too much into a singular daily routine. You will keep finding new resources, tools and techniques, and you will continue to chop and change this routine throughout your life and as your body acceptance journey progresses. Remain open-minded and always on the lookout for the new things you can try to strengthen the relationship you have with your body. And remember, this is a guide. This is an ideal situation. If sometimes you don't achieve your routine every day, or if you only achieve half of it, or even one thing, then that's okay. Be kind with yourself. We all have busy lives and we all have difficult days. It's key to remember to have compassion for yourself and your situation and simply do the best that you can on each day. Module 10, congratulations. Lesson 1, you should be so proud. You've completed the course. I hope you're feeling so proud of yourself right now. You made a commitment to yourself and took positive steps to improve the relationship you have with your body, and that is such an incredibly wonderful thing. I want you to genuinely take a moment to realise what a proud time in your life this is. I hope you're leaving this process feeling like you've learned a lot, have a better understanding of the world around you, and with a wealth of tools and resources you can continue to use to improve how you feel about your body. I have 2 final exercises for you, so grab your worksheet and pen. Firstly, take some time to reflect and work out what you'll be taking away from this. So what did you find most interesting? What surprised you the most? What was your favourite exercise? What did you realise about yourself during this process? What was the most useful tip? Essentially, what did you learn? Take some time to sit and really reflect on this journey and the core things you'll be taking away from the process. Once you've had a chance to reflect, we're going to come back to the questions from the very first module. Don't be tempted to look at your previous answers until after you've written your new ones down. So the first question is, how much do you love yourself right now? 1 being not at all, and 10 being you couldn't love yourself any more if you tried. The second question is, how good do you feel about your body right now? 1 being you're so unhappy and uncomfortable in your own skin, and 10 being you feel amazing and love every single inch of your body. How confident are you right now? 1 being super shy and not comfortable at all, and 10 being you could walk into a room of people tomorrow with your head held high and not caring at all what they think. And the final question is, how accepting of your body are you right now? 1 being you feel at total war with your body, and 10 being you accept every part of your body for what it is. Now that you've answered these, flick back to your previous answers and take a moment to see how far you have come. I do, however, want to remind you that there is no wrong or right score. It doesn't matter if none of your scores have gone up or if all of them have. Body acceptance is a lifelong journey. It's possibly the toughest journey you'll ever take, and it's all about consistency and continuing to put into practice what you have learned. These questions and scores are simply to make reflection easier for you, so please, if you've learned anything on this course, let it be self-compassion, and do not put any pressure for these scores to be a certain way. So that's it. You've completed the course and you've made a commitment to yourself. I praise you for being here. My own journey of body acceptance has been a rocky one, and I hope that the tools that have helped me have helped you too. You're a queen, and don't ever forget it.